It's Naomi Sneakus, and welcome to the Firecracker Department Aftershow. This is where we talk about past episodes with some of the core Firecracker Department team about things that the guests have said that have hit their heart or jazzed them or inspired them or motivated them to do something exciting in their lives. Today we've got, of course, the AJ Edmonds, the Emily Churchill, and Farah Marani, which is just fantastic. Thanks so much for joining. Let's talk today about Jayne Eastwood. Oh my gosh, Jayne Eastwood.
Okay.
One of my favorite kick-ass firecracker ladies. I've known Jayne forever. She's from Second City World, but you'll know her from like Haven, um, uh, Chicago. She was in Chicago. She's on like kids shows like crazy. Dino Dana, Dino Dan. She also does a whole bunch of cartoons. I met her when I did my very first commercial for Rogers. Oh my God, I fell in love with her heart. And at one point she was like, "Hey, new best friend." And I was like, "Oh my God, oh my God." I just adore Jayne Eastwood so much, and I'm so glad she would do this interview, and I'm so glad to share it with you guys. Emily, what did you think of Jayne's episode? What struck a chord for you?
Oh, the biggest thing. First off, she's amazing. Ooh,
I know.
just want to put her in my pocket. Um, but one thing she said that really got to me at the core is you got nothing to lose in auditions, and I so try every time I go in. I'm like, girl, you got this. Don't worry. Just go do your thing, right? And she's so right. You don't have anything to lose if you've prepared. You know you've got it in your toolbox to do the best that you can, and that just really resonated with me.
Yeah, I wish I had that. I get so nervous for auditions that even if I'm prepared, I'm like, I could be more prepared. And that always
Mm-hmm.
like shakes my nerves a bit. AJ, does that resonate for you? What she said?
Totally. I mean, I personally love auditions because it's
Oh.
like 3 minutes of getting to be somebody I'm not, and because I work in so many other fields in film, and acting is something I do because I love it, not necessarily because I've been able to make a career out of it. A lot of the times, if I get auditions, I am so excited to just be in the room that I kind of get what she's saying. But I think it comes from a stakes thing because I do have the opportunity to do lots of other things in the arts at the same time. I don't rest my laurels on ensuring that that's the part I get to move forward. And I felt a bit of that from her as well. She did kind of have a like, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. I'm just going to keep doing me. And that's life. And that, it's such a great attitude to take into anything that you do.
I mean, she's also like a beautiful painter. Like, people don't even know what kind of stunning she paints from her heart. So any piece that she's ever created, she did one of my dogs sitting in a theater booth. I'll post it. It's one of my favorite things that I own. But it's also like she just does so much with her heart. And she also she's part of the Women Fully Clothed sketch group. So she's always creating. She's got that muscle of like comedy, always exercising. Farah, what did she say that kind of resonated for you?
Well, to that point, to what we were just talking about, it reminded me of something that I heard ages ago from another actor that I hugely admire, Mark Rylance, and the idea that every audition is an opportunity to perform. And what do we love to do as actors? And that's perform. And auditions are a setting where you have an audience of one or three, and they're completely captivated, or at least they should be theoretically. Um, and we as the actor get the opportunity to perform for an audience of one or three or five or whatever, which is not something we most of us get to do every single day. So the idea that auditions should be fun, as soon as we let go of the fact that we're like, the reality is we're not auditioning. We have this idea that we're auditioning for a job, but in actual fact, like, they know if we're going to be called in or not within the minute or second that we walk in the room. And as soon as you let go of, I think, the stakes thing, what AJ said, it's just like it can transform the experience, and it can be fun because so
Yeah.
much of the business of being an actor is auditioning. Like, that's our job, really.
That's mindset twisting. Like, I got to change
Yeah.
my mindset to being like so nervous about it, just being like, yeah, this is a good time. Sometimes I'll be working on an audition for a self tape, and Matt'll be like, pretend you've got the job
Yeah.
and just record it. Like, let's do a take. Like, you've got the job, and now you're just like getting to do your sneakus. And that always helps my brain, but it's
Mm.
hard to keep in that motion when you're like, I don't know, nerves and stuff. Emily, what do you think about all the nerves, all the things that we go through to be an actor? I mean,
Yeah.
Jayne's been an actor for a long time, and she even
Oh
said in the
yeah.
podcast when she started, it was a different game. Like, she just said she went out there and people were like, yes. Down the Road is a movie that she did that was like groundbreaking for Canadian film. Do you remember that movie, AJ?
She's such a sparkle.
I
You know, like she
know.
just brings such an energy to the screen that she's on. And she's got this effusive sort of like Jayne Eastwood element to her that
Mhm.
I'm
I
so
mean,
proud
she's
to.
in like a small scene in Chicago. I don't know if you remember, but she just plays like the landlord or something, and she like steals everything. Like she just I don't know, explodes on the screen. She also did a sketch called going. It's called I can't remember what actually it was called. It's from SCTV. It was John Candy, Joe Flaherty, Andrew Martin, and Jayne Eastwood, and it's just killer. If we can get a clip and add it to something, it's so funny. But everything she does to me is just funny. She can do nothing and just look at me sideways and be like, "Oh, Jane, you." Anything else from our discussion, Emily, that you get got jazzed about?
Yeah, I love that she said, you know, comedy and drama need to be in both things, because being a large, I guess, mainly comedic actress, I've got some drama chops, right? And so, like, yes, in everything I do, there's drama in there and there's comedy. And I think some people, when they see comedy, they get scared, and it's like, girl, that's in, or guy, that's in all our stuff, right? Or if you're an XYZ, you know.
Yeah.
But I think there's got to be comedy and drama and everything.
I love that. Farah, what about you? Anything? Any final thoughts about Jane's episode with me?
Well, I love this. I love this idea of comedy and drama being in everything because it makes me think of everything, even to comedy actors. Like in a funny show, nobody thinks that they're being funny. Like the comedy comes out of the situation, or the comedy comes out of like the one-liners or whatever. But in real life, the funniest people are those, and the funniest shows or movies are those where the actors are taking it seriously and not
Yeah.
playing for the joke, right? And so I've often thought of, and like I don't naturally find myself doing comedy very often, or let me rephrase that. I haven't been known to do a lot of comedy in my past, and it's
Okay.
something that I'm actively trying to change because I know there's a funny bone in me that I'm really trying to, flap and wing away at, because I'm known to be a very kind of serious person in my life, and those people who know me. And I really think, like what you were saying, Emily, the comedy makes the drama that much more impactful, and the drama makes the comedy that much more earned. And I feel like,
Oh, yes.
given what she was talking about, like that was something that I was like, oh yeah, it's like they go
It's
hand in hand.
it's so interesting too. Like even in the monologues of somebody like Lady M or something like
Yeah.
that, like find your comedy in that because that's life. I remember like even in the worst of times, like funerals, there's something that makes you laugh and it's awkward and uncomfortable and fantastic. And same thing when you're laughing so hard that there's something tragic in your heart. That's the diversity that I love seeing on screen and I love playing too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any final thoughts from you, AJ or Emily?
Mm.
She said one thing that I'm like gonna hold on to for the rest of my life was that she's like, actors are half actor, half human.
Ooh.
Oh.
I was like,
Yeah.
it's so funny because there is sort of a superhuman element to being an actor. You know, you have to take every emotion of the person you've ever come across and like make it authentic and stand in front of somebody and just be yourself, but also like make sure it doesn't look like you're acting.
Yeah.
And then you go about the rest of your life as yourself.
Yeah.
Half actor, half human, and then the future, half avatar. Who knows?
How many halves can we put in a hole? That's the real
Yeah,
question.
that's my math is not
Ooh.
strong. I'll give you that.
Oh.
So, what about you three? What is going on in your lives that we can support and celebrate? What's coming up? Farah.
Well, the first thing that comes to my mind is the launch of the script department script
Yeah.
reading, which is going to be so
Ah.
exciting here in LA. It's at the end of September. We're doing it here in Los Feliz at the Improv Theater. So I'm really pumped about that because it's totally coming together. And I shot a short film about a month ago, and I just got word that that's kind of close to being finished. So I'm excited to see that. And once it comes out, I'll let everybody know.
Yes, please. And just to jump on the script department, if you're interested in submitting scripts or finding out more information about how to be part of that and just witness it, go to firecrackerdepartment@gmail.com and we'll send you all the information that you need. But we'd love to have you part of the community. And we're going to find a way of doing some sort of like streaming of that through from Toronto to UK to Los Angeles for all the Firecracker Department chapters. AJ, what's coming up for you?
TIFF party.
Yes, Misty.
Working on our first TIFF party for Firecracker Department. I'm putting together the music. No one's ever trusted me with a playlist before, so I will not apologize for the musical theater that will be playing in the background of
If it's
our.
Gregorian chants full on, I will never trust you again.
Well,
But
listen.
I'll also look around the room to see who's dancing to Gregorian chants and
Yeah.
admire.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so excited about our TIFF party. It's our first time we're doing a TIFF party. We're giving away a Blaze Award for the very first time, and we're giving it to Jan Arden, who's just, oh my God, this is one of my favorite firecrackers in the whole world. She's a singer-songwriter. She has her own TV show in Canada called Jan. She has a podcast called The Business of Life. She's written a book called Feeding My Mother. She's just everything. And just a little shout out, because one of the things I didn't want to do was give the Blaze Award recipient like a plaque or a statue that then they have to dust, because who wants to do that? So we're giving away a piece of jewelry from a store in Toronto called Made You Look. And they just come through in such a big way. I'm such a fan of that store anyway. And now they've just like, I'm so excited because Jan doesn't know about it. And I'll be like, look what else you get. So excited. Yeah. Emily, what's coming up for you?
We are in post-production for a short film that my husband and I did called Missing Socks. And we just saw it. It was really cute. So I guess I will let you all know whenever it comes out.
I love it. And I'm full on into TIFF. So one of the things I'm doing this year with TIFF that I did last year was I had a local designer design me a dress that I'm wearing for the entire of the TIFF event. So whatever event I go, I'll be wearing this dress and then styled differently. Because I kind of came to a point, like tired of the environmental waste of fashion, but also like boys get to have one suit and then different ties. I did it last year, and it was such a fun way to talk to people about something other than what are you wearing. You're talking about what are you creating, and it also opened up a whole part of my brain. So I wasn't like, oh, what am I gonna wear tonight? I was like, I know what I'm gonna wear. I'm gonna wear my dress. And this year, Mateen Mithras is designing it, and the alarms are coming. And
That
this year,
was me. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. This year, Mateen Mithras is designing it, and I'm so excited to share it with you. And if you want to follow along, it's hashtag Naomi One Dress.
Ooh.
So there's lots going on for Firecrackers. Thanks, everybody. If you want to be part of our community in any way, online or in person, please go to firecrackerdepartment.com, subscribe to our newsletter, find a way of being part of it. We'd love to have you. And also, don't forget the social media, the Firecracker DEPT in Instagram and Twitter. And let us know what you think. Love to hear what you think about Jayne's episode and every other episode that we're putting out there. All right, go get them, gals. Thanks so much.
Woo!
Thank
Love you
you.
guys. Bye.